Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. Today we have Maxim Muzafarov, and he's going to be talking about CEP 38, CQL Management. And I won't take too much time. I'll let you go ahead and present your slides, Maxim.
Okay, let's start. Let me share my screen. Yeah, is it okay? Can you see? Okay. Good. Okay. So let me set the context for our discussion. Let's discuss the Cassandra Management API, the CEP 38. It's being discussed on the dev list, so it's kind of maybe a rediscussion, or maybe there are some interesting questions that I need to address in order to complete design. Okay, let's start. A few words about myself. I'm a software engineer of the OSPO team at Ivan. We're working with open source projects. Personally, I've been working with open source for more than 7 years. Mostly it's about the distributed databases. I'm PMC member in Apache Ignite. It's a memory database. And here's my context if you need to ask something in private messages. So our plan for today. We will discuss why we need to do anything with the management API, or what we would like to see, so what the expected outcome, and how we can achieve these goal, these changes, and implement them. Why? The motivation for these changes is, so basically all the management comments stored as JMX MBN classes on the Cassandra node, and despite the node tool has its own representation of these commands, it's still they still call the JMX methods. So it's a bit difficult to handle. I think it's not easy to parse these JMX classes because of if we want to build something on runtime, and it's hard to reuse for other Cassandra projects. For example, Cassandra has a lot of projects that use these JMX and beans, and so there are no other alternative for that. There are some concerns about the JMX itself. Like clients needs to be aware of the class path. So if the Cassandra exception is thrown while the JMX method is called, it needs to be aware of these type of exceptions. There are some security risks, and probably the most important thing is that once we introduce a new command to the node, it should be manually exposed to all the tools that we have. It should be exposed to the node tool, like we should implement the command on that side. This new command should be exposed through different interfaces, like the REST API, we should manually implement them, and so on and so forth. So it's a bit of annoying thing. The command, for example, the compact command represented on storage service in Bean looks like it's a plain thing. So it has 3 methods, and on the node tool side, it's so the node tool aggregate these 3 methods under the single command, and like we use some set of input arguments to call one of these methods based on the input. So we want to fix it, and our goals is to we want to be lazy and implement a management comment only once. So we want to implement it once on the node side, and some kind of internal stuff makes make this comment available for different APIs. We want to run these commands and provide through CQL and provide another API for managing the cluster and running some commands. We want to track these commands, so we like each command should has a unique identifier. So we will be able to track these commands using ID or view the commands that we have running on the local node. And of course, the thing is the most important thing is the command should have a new command, or the set of commands that we support right now should have a metadata, so we can use it across different APIs, like to expose this command to REST API or some kind of stuff. So this is the nearby goals, but when we implement, when we reach these goals, we can also implement some a virtual table to view and query the long-running commands. We can have a history of comments that were running on the node, and we can like cancel the long-running comments via the virtual table as well. The same way probably as we, no, we don't have it right now for the settings. But yeah, we can like I don't know, call kill command using the ID, so the command will be interrupted. So right now, I think we don't have an appetite to deprecate the JMX because it's widely used by the Cassandra ecosystem, and there are many things that rely on the JMX and Bean right now. And also, I don't want to introduce any backward compatibility issues. So it's probably all the MBeans that are used right now by the Node tool or other kind of stuff should remain the same to preserve the backward compatibility. So how we can achieve it? The design, the solution design is borrowed from the metrics library. The metrics library has a metric interface that mark all the types of metrics. It has, this library has a metric registry, so we can store all the metrics in a single registry or multi-one. It has also such an option. So we can store all the metrics in single point in one place. We can manage these metric registry dynamically, so we can remove or add a new metrics. And the interesting part here is that we can export these metric registry to various of APIs. Like we can set the JMX exporter that create the necessary MBeans. We can use console repertoire that will push these metrics and metric values to the console, and like, or the same as the collect daemon that also used by various of deployments, and we can push these metrics here. So we will reuse this idea in our command registry solution. So it's basically the same thing, that we will have a command interface. We will have some like commands like help command or local command interfaces, and we have a command registry, so we can put all our commands in this registry and use them dynamically. And also we will export commands from this registry through various API, like the JMix that we have. It's probably will be based on the dynamic MBeans. So once the command is added to the registry, it will automatically be available. A new MBean will be created and it will automatically be available in this API. And also the nice addition for this thing is SQL command exporter. It's the thing that we need to make commands available in SQL API. And as an addition, probably we can add also a REST API exporter, but I think it's out of the scope of this design. So how it will look like from the high level perspective. So right now we have a node tool that calls that basically is a wrapper on JMix client. It calls the JMix and beans that are available on the node side, and it firing a command there. So we will slightly change it. There will be a command registry with all the commands. We will have the dynamic MBeans for the node tool that will basically represent the same thing as the node tool has right now. And I think it should be included in the initial scope, the CQL exporter. So alongside with improving the binary protocol, we will make these commands available through the CQL. So the idea is to move all the commands, not all the commands, to move some of the commands that we have in a node tool to the node itself in the command registry, and the subset of the commands that right now are responsible for changing the configurations only, just leave them as they are right now for the backward compatibility, and instead of this subset of commands, provide make the settings virtual table updatable. So it's basically we have right now settings virtual table that shows all the node configuration. Some of these properties can be updated from the JMix, and so it's reflected on the node tool. So if we make this command updatable, if we make this virtual table updatable, so we can set the configuration, we can change the node configuration the same way as it does from the node tool side. So this slide is about this change. So we will have a store procedures like compact, like a huge commands that like compact drain, and we will have other things, other subset of commands that will go through the settings virtual table. So yeah, this is the basic idea. I've collected some information. So we have 164 commands in the node tool. Some of them are like compact drain and flush is the basic commands, the main commands that we're interested in. So they will be exposed through the SQL interface. They will be exposed through new dynamic MBeans, and the node tool will call these dynamic MBeans in order to run these commands. And the other part that are related to the configurations only, to the node configuration only, that we can change it in runtime, will pass through the settings virtual table. So the exporter, so we want to make we want to be able to run commands through SQL interface. This is an example of what this is the example of the SQL command that will be supported. So it basically represents as k value as an input, the same parameters that we have for the node2, and a list of strings as an output, the same parameters as an output. So we will try to be as much conservative as possible with changing the command internals. So in order to not face some compatibility issues. So, but basically we can run this command to fire this query and execute the command through SQL. It's for the stored procedures, but for the settings virtual table, we will make these commands, these queries like valid, so we can run the, for example, we have a subset of configuration parameters that already available in Gmix. So I assume that we will do the same, but from the SQL side. So we just run the update statement, change, set the value for the parameter in the same format as they are represented in the YAML configuration file, and like be happy. So this is basically that this idea is about. I don't have right now. I don't have any prototype to show. I'm still working on this stuff. So if you have any questions, I'm really interested to hear the questions, because the less questions we have, the less problems we'll face on the review stage. Yeah, so any questions are really appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Maxime. Yeah, if anybody has a question, feel free to raise your hand and we can get it asked. And also, if you have questions, you think of them later, Maxime, they can reach you on, well, you had a slide that showed where you can be reached, but also I know you're on the ASF Cassandra Slack group. So
yeah, so I will try to keep all the discussion on the dev list anyway, so we will have a full log of the decisions and the whole design problems and so on and so. All the updates will be there.
okay, great.
Do we have any questions?
When do you think you'll have a prototype to share?
I think it should be ready within the next month, maybe in March. So yeah, but so it's really easy to prepare the prototype with the success path, but for the failure scenarios, it will be not so easy, because I've been facing a lot of issues with the failure path. So it's not so, and yeah, it's also, we need to be very conservative from the Cassandra ecosystem. I have a slide actually for it. Yeah, so this is the slide, the bonus slide that I prepared for discussion. There is a Cassandra management API project called K8 Sandra. It exposes the commands that all the commands through the REST API. So I've compared, for example, the compact command between the Node tool and the Cassandra project, and it like right now it has some like differences. So in order to keep it compatible, probably the REST API exporter is also needed to be prepared, like the tester, for the test purposes, or for to highlight the problems that the other projects could have. So it's I think it's really big change, but like for the initial changes, I think I can move like the compact command, prepare all the classes that we need, prepare all the exporters, and like demonstrate and demonstrate how it works, how it will work.
Hey, Max, what about, I don't see anything about this, but this just actually made me think about this, is integration with the current security, like role-based security, that sort of thing inside Cassandra, because essentially you're opening a door for somebody to use an external interface to change the cluster. So what does that look like?
This is an interesting question because I haven't prepared any slides from the security point of view, but the idea it should like so I like the idea that the Cassandra Management API project it reuse the Unix domain socket to connect to the local node. So if we prepare the like new SQL SH admin tool that uses these domain sockets, so only administrators or operators who have access to the local node will be able to fire the commands. But it should basically not maybe, yeah, inherit the same role model as the node tool has right now. Yeah, but it's like the main idea is to centralize all the commands under the single registry. And when it's done, we can prepare all the other stuff, like we can take a look at the agent side. Some of the projects uses the agent to export the metrics and to fire the commands. We can prepare, like maybe extend or prepare the SQL SH and like call it SQL SH, SQL admin SH or something like that. So another tool to run the commands alongside the node tool. And like there are a lot of things to do. So it's like the basic two steps, the next two steps off the top of my head. Yeah, but anyway, I will try to keep all the updates on the dev list, so you definitely won't miss anything.
And then there was another question from Mick asking what feedback on the mail list have you received? And has that changed your approach, or are you finding it difficult to address?
I don't know. I haven't prepared actually. I have only basic classes and like the small tests that demonstrate this idea, but I haven't prepared the fully prototype for these. So I don't know. Is it the right or not? Is it the right answer for that question?
Sure, Maxim. It was a very
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's about the virtual table. So basically, I thought that we will expose all the same set of comments that the notebook has, but actually the folks shared some info that it's better to pass the configuration changes through the settings virtual table. So it's even easier to prepare to split this work into steps. Right? I think it's this the idea, right?
yeah, are there any other questions? Well, if not, you can always, reach out to Maxim. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining.
Yeah,
And then
happy to see you all.
yeah, the next one contributor call will be with Jaideep Kumar Travacha. He's going to be presenting SEP 37. And then actually, if you would like to share or present your contribution, you can reach out to me on Slack, or you can send me an email, paul@constantia.io, and we can try and schedule a time for you to present your contributions as well. So yeah, thanks so much, Maxime, for presenting and giving us your updates.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, thanks everybody.